Thanks for inviting us in on this Monday night. It's now 11 o'clock, and we want to begin with this months-long debate that we've been talking about on the news over this proposed Google data center in Franklin Township. Tonight, the tech giant backed out right before a critical council vote that was needed to secure this big project. Our Alex Almanza was at tonight's meeting and got reaction from both sides.
Just minutes before councilors were set to vote on the project, Google threw in the towel. What was supposed to be $1 billion investment in Franklin Township disappeared in an instant.
And I'd like to announce our intention to withdraw this proposal.
Hundreds of residents cheering after Google dropped the proposal that would have brought a nearly 470-acre data center to town.
We're so happy that this was the right choice tonight.
The project, shrouded in secrecy for a majority of its lifetime, received sharp criticism from residents and both sides of the council.
I think that's the reason why Google withdrew their petition today, is because they've seen how many people came out. In 6 years that I've been on this council, I haven't seen both of these overflow rooms and that room full. That is an amazing testament of what just happened tonight.
It's a hot topic issue that gained opposition from a majority of the council, but also flipped opinions. Franklin Township Schools was originally against the project, but after meeting with Google, the school superintendent said it would bring tax relief stemming from funding shortfalls from Senate Bill 1, though the school didn't share the exact figures that Google provided. Councilor Ron Gibson supported the project. He stands by what would have been a yes vote.
$1 billion is a lot to pass up. And in terms of investment and growing jobs and opportunities for the people in Indianapolis, it's a huge investment to say no to. I would imagine even the opponents today have some reservations about the future in terms of that type of development.
Now, while Google has officially pulled the plug on the petition, it still leaves the door open for them to come back within as early as a few months and start the project back up again in Indianapolis. Alex Almanza, 13 News.
A dense fog advisory in effect overnight into early tomorrow. That visibility is going to be low enough that it's going to slow you down early on a Tuesday. Visibility already down to 1 mile in Greencastle, 2 miles in Shelbyville, still at 6 in Indianapolis, but we expect those visibilities to be near zero. A foggy start could end up with some school delays early tomorrow morning. Morning temperatures in the mid-60s. Highs tomorrow close to 80.
Angela, thanks. Tonight, a Fort Wayne police officer is in critical condition after getting stabbed on duty. Officers got called to an apartment building around 6 tonight. Minutes later, police called for immediate assistance after the officer was stabbed by someone in a hallway. Police tell us officers fired at the suspect. Not clear right now if that suspect was hit, but police do say they requested medics for both the officer and the suspect. The officer was taken to the hospital. Any officers who fired their weapons will be placed on administrative leave. That's department protocol. And now to the push for accountability tonight after that mass shooting here in Indianapolis. 2 people killed, 5 others injured.
This weekend is a setback, but it does not define our city.
That mass shooting was one of multiple instances of gun violence that police responded to over the weekend. All of it happening early Sunday morning on the northwest side of Indy near 38th and High School Road. Police tell us the 2 men killed were the shooters, but they say there actually may have been a third gunman. In fact, they tell us the gunfire all started after some kind of fight in the parking lot at a liquor store.
3 o'clock in the morning with booze and easy access to weapons and a hot temper and no skills whatsoever to deal with the conflict are things that happen in the heat of the moment. And unless we know it's going to happen right then and there, it's hard for us to intervene and stop it.
Chief Bailey went on to tell us a lot of the situations that police respond to are the result of arguments mixed with alcohol. Over the weekend, at least 13 people were shot across our city. Tonight, Indiana's parole board is now considering whether the life of Roy Ward should be spared. Ward's execution date is about 2 weeks away. He raped and murdered 15-year-old Stacy Payne back in July of 2001. He forced his way into her home in Dale, Indiana, when she answered the door. Ward stabbed her repeatedly with a knife. Stacy's younger sister saw the attack and then called 911. Her mom spoke during today's Clemency hearing.
He coldly and brutally took Stacy's life with and forgiving an unimaginable evil. And what he did to our little girl is too unspeakable to even put into words, but burned into our memories.
Roy is a person filled with remorse. He is a person filled with sadness. Roy is filled with self-loathing. He is filled with shame.
That was one of the attorneys for Roy Ward. They argue Ward is not a severe psychopath as presented at trial. They've also asked the Indiana Supreme Court to stay the execution, saying Benjamin Ritchie may have experienced pain during our state's last lethal injection, which was back in May. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. An Indianapolis man just learned his sentence after a 3-year-old boy got a hold of a gun and shot himself. Antrian Rice reached a plea deal calling for 1 year in prison and 1 year in community corrections. The shooting took place in August of 2024. Investigators say the boy found the gun in a car. Now, according to court records, the boy has had several surgeries since that shooting. Tonight, a person is under arrest after a deadly crash here in downtown Indy. This happened early Saturday morning. Police believe a car crashed into an SUV, sending the SUV off the road into a building. A 31-year-old man riding in the SUV died. Officers arrested the 26-year-old driver of the car, believing the person was intoxicated. Tonight, we're getting an inside look at the expanded effort at an East Side church to give residents new opportunities. New Direction Church just launched a new campus along 38th Street. This is a building for worship, but also the performing arts and career development. A first group of students will learn the construction trade. It is a 16-week session. All the students in the program will get paid. A concert's coming to Fishers that will help raise money for Hamilton Southeastern schools. Blues Traveler and Gin Blossoms will perform February 20th at the Fishers Event Center. Tickets go on sale Friday. Prices range from $34 to $134. A portion of the proceeds will benefit HSE students and staff. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.